Welcome to GameF8 News, where the news is all about games. Nintendo fans, including me, are awaiting Nintendo to officially announce this Wednesday's Direct. Expected games during the event are Zelda Tears of the Kingdom pre-orders to go live, Advance Wars to Shadow Drop, a remake or remaster of Metroid Prime, and the Pikmin 4 release date, which we'll talk about later. I have quite a number of other off-the-wall predictions on the channel, so check them out.
Welcome to our 2037 Nintendo Direct predictions. Prime 4 is certain to finally be in this one, next to a translation of Mother 3 and a Switch Pro. How the Big N have milked this console for 2 decades, I mean, it's astonishing.
Nintendo is normally quite good at keeping its secrets, however its retail partners not so much. Greek retailer Game Explorers has dated Pikmin 4 to be arriving on shelves May 26th. We often see retailers internally using fake dates if they want a game in their systems but don't know the date yet, but this is normally the 31st of December, since apart from Sports Story, no game is brave enough to release around that time, and this is so that everyone internal knows it's a placeholder. But May the 26th is a very specific date, which has got us all pretty excited. Nintendo have already announced that the game will drop this year. Presumably they don't feel the games have many players in common, or they have such a packed latter half of the year that this is the only gap they could find for the game. Pikmin and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom dropping weeks apart. Could Pikmin be the Tears? Is the boss Louis Ganon? Sony have been on a desperate rampage to push all of their console exclusives onto the PC. Sadly for fans of The Last of Us, the port of Part 1 has been delayed by nearly a month to March the 28th. The remake has been expected to sell very well, especially after the success of the TV show, and it was initially planned to release during the series, but the delay will push the game until the show's Season 1 has fully aired. The TV show has been pretty stunning, and the visuals are gorgeous, but the gameplay just, for me, isn't there. Turtle Rock Studios have ended their support for Back 4 Blood, confirming it will receive no more updates. The game has had a generous selection of paid DLC last year, and the studio have confirmed that resources have been pushed towards their next game. So we've made Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood. What should we name the next game? What about Connect 4 the game? No. Smilegate has announced that Crossfire X will have support for the game stopped on May the 18th. The Xbox shooter launched only last February as a console conversion of its very successful PC counterpart. Making a home on Game Pass, things were looking rosy, but concerns were raised when it suddenly was announced to be leaving the Game Pass service. The game's been pulled from the Xbox store, and players may even be able to get refunds for any purchases made in the last 2 weeks. Quite a number of live service games have been cancelled recently, including Rumbleverse, Knockout City and Apex Legends Mobile. Now that's just great. First it was NFTs, and now live service games are gone. How are we going to con people into giving us money? I mean, how can we create unique experience to excite our audience? Why don't we just literally rob them? I'm listening. After churning out one of the worst Star Wars games, making international news for its predatory model, EA showed what they could do with the IP when not motivated by maximising profit with Fallen Order. The follow-up Jedi Survivor has promised to expand on this success and has some great news for fans. We reported last week that Respawn delayed the game until April 28th to hit their quality bar, but they've now opened up about some features within the game. Fast travel and the ability to mount animals has been confirmed by the game's director in a recent interview with Play Magazine. This would be 2 elements that paint the game as having a much larger scope than its predecessor, and we would definitely assume that this title may be more open world in nature. Ride around our amazing vistas on a Tortum, replenish your health by eating it, and replenish your energy by sleeping inside it. We talked last week about how Dragon Age Dreadwolves development has been in absolute shambles, with staff leaving left, right and centre. At the weekend, footage from a playtester found its way online. It was also confirmed that unlike the previous statements that the combat was similar to Final Fantasy XV, the combat is actually more like God of War. If all the leaks are making you think this game might drop this year, sadly Insider Gaming interviewed 2 anonymous sources that have suggested the game is a long way off and will not see a 2023 release. BioWare really needs to come out with an update of where they're at with this game, and soon. This game is amazing, and you'll look forward to it releasing soon. Are we off the record now? Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. That will ever come out. Those of you who remember the beginnings of 3D games on the PC and PlayStation will remember also that different devs took different approaches with the advances in the hardware. The Miller brothers decided to create a game by using 3D modelling to create images of the landscapes and show the player these images with their game Myst. If this sounds like playing a game of PowerPoint, you'd be absolutely right. And I know that the game has die-hard supporters, but when I bought the multi-disc game home to play, I can remember my disappointment with it. However, the game will be re-releasing on the iOS, and I'm actually looking forward to playing it. Maybe it's because I have more patience now, or most likely it's because the game is built on top of the real Myst game they made in 2000, which moves slightly away from the slideshow and adds 3D graphics. You see, the secret of the game Myst is the mist is created by steam emanating from your ears through the frustration of playing the game. But something that won't be emanating from your ears in the frustration of playing the game is GameF8 news. See us tomorrow and every tomorrow, unless the today is Friday since I rest at weekends. Love and Peach.